Oh, hey there, Tarot and Astrology for All. This is David coming in with your reading, Aries, for the rest of the year. Now, this is November 21st till December 31st. So, let's see what Spirit has for you, Aries. And for any cross watchers with prominent Aries in their chart, this could also apply to you. This could apply to sun, moon, and rising signs. Although I feel that this would more likely align with your descendant, Aries. So this would be more of a opposite of whatever your ascendant is. So I know I said something about like not producing videos and things like that. Well, you know, you can't say no to your soul mission, right? So here I am, and this is the only way that like my soul feels better. So let's do this. Oh, so a couple of things came out. I mean, I'm just gonna read these cards. There is the Faery guide, which is source in the universe. Soulless upside down. Mickle and muckle. Okay. And the soul shrinker in the reverse. Alright, so essentially what Spirit is trying to tell me right now, and this is for you specifically, Aries, this all jumped out, is this. So you have source guiding everything at the moment, right? But it's guiding everything because it realizes that you're unhappy at the moment. Not only that, I believe that at this point in time there's some Aries that do not really realize the blessing in disguise in whatever the situation is, and might actually be speaking badly about themselves to themselves, like, you know, negative language towards yourself. Now, I feel that there is there is something that needs to be healed, especially in this area here, but we're gonna see what that is. All right. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, these readings, they follow a typical structure that is rooted in psychology. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy. So when we look at these things, I'm looking at it from, well, not just from the psychological perspective, but I'm also looking at it from the spiritual perspective as well. So when it comes to thoughts, I usually attribute that to, for instance, spirit, source, the place from which your thoughts come from. And then feelings, I assimilate that and find that synonymous with your heart chakra, you know, your heart energy, empathy, things like that. But how you feel is more connected to the energy that's there. It's the feeling space. It's the information that comes to you before you actually understand there's information coming to you. That the fact that you're aware of something that like maybe you're unhappy about or something like that, that's the first stage. So, and then of course the actions are more closely aligned to what's happening here in the physical world and what can be done in terms of decisions. So here we go. Thoughts. What do the fairy oracles have for us in the thought/spirit space? Ooh, Indy. Okay, so this has to do with some type of situation for you, Aries. Now, Indy, when Indy has a decision to make, is usually off of emotions. So whatever the thoughts are that you're having right now, whatever the feelings are that are going to appear, obviously, are what your decisions are based off. Now, when I look at Indy's kind of sad because in one way, it's like Indy would want something that's emotionally fulfilling and something that would like help him to move forward in various different areas, but it might be more emotionally draining. But it will have a much bigger reward. Now, this little orb right here, that's something that he doesn't really have too much interest in. If you take a look at this card, he's more caught up by that other orb, the much bigger orb, the orb that has more emotional content in it. And I feel like maybe in some way, shape, or form, some of you Aries are looking at this thing that it activates more emotion, but it activates more suffering. And this other thing doesn't really activate too much emotion, but it doesn't activate too much suffering. So I feel this is what you're kind of stuck in, Aries. The 6 and the 3, these are things that are happening on an everyday level, and perhaps you may be communicating about it. I very much feel that regardless of whatever this decision is based off of unhappiness. Now, that Soulless card that was coming out was a very good indicator of that. And so, you know, thinking about that, it's like, okay, well, the basis of this reading is trying to find solutions to reach personal happiness, while at the same time not being drowned by the emotional aspect of whatever it is that you're looking at. All right, let's see what's in the feeling space. Yeah, see, so at the bottom of everything, it has to do with healing. And then of course, you know, Tobaira of the Waters was at the bottom of the deck when those other cards flew out. So, you know, this kind of gives me the sense, oh Jesus, sorry about that. Let me clean this up real quick. Okay. Was just opening my C4. Okay. So, at the bottom of the deck when all those other cards came out was Tobaira of the Waters. Now, this card was obviously in the reverse right now, but it was also reversed at the bottom of the deck when I was reading those 4 cards. So there has to be something with healing. Something that you're feeling needs to be healed. And in a way, you know, when you think about Aries, for those of you who are not very well developed as an Arian, in terms of your energy, you know, your intuitive faculties, most of you will call it gut feelings and things like that. I feel that you understand where your gut feelings are trying to take you, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be making any decisions, or all of the decisions that you would be making would be rash and would have no consistency to them. All right, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the astrology chart and find out a few things. First off, hold on, let me log in real quick. Okay, so I want to see what else I can draw from that card. And I feel like let me take a look. Okay, so I feel that for some of you Aries are in this state of mind right now. Who's this person that's pouring water onto this face? Well, it could be that you're trying to pour love onto somebody and they're not reciprocating that energy. It could be that somebody else is trying to do that to you, and you know, trying to pour love, trying to pour affection, various different things into your life. And instead of, you know, understanding that water is healing water, you're starting, you're in a sense, your first reaction may be, oh, they're just playing with me, like, you know. Now there's a couple of other feelings that I can catch in this right here. If you can see right in that little shadow, that little guy right here, it kind of reminds me of that face when they talk about Medi-Cal and all of that, you know, the white guy who's not really smiling, but who's not really like frowning. You know, there's all sorts of different emotions here, right? So I feel like for you Aries, that is the spectrum of emotions that you might be going through. Now, let's go ahead and draw some more cards. Ooh, it's pretty warm in here. Okay, let's draw one more card from the Fairy Oracles, and then we'll go to the book. All right, so Mickle. So two of the cards that I was looking at when all those other cards fell out. So that's exactly the energy you want. All right, so you have that one. Technically, we all have the alchemist inside of us, just like we all have temperance inside of us, which is the energy of alchemical exchange from one thing to another, right? From flowing from one cup to the other side. Nellie's the alchemist, and using the energy of creativity and the energy of nature, maybe even possibly getting out into nature. Take a walk every day. Do something physical, because when it comes to Aries, you guys need to be physically active in order for you to feel good. Now, I can't remember if I have anything in my chart that's Aryan. However, I don't think I do. But we can also take a look at where Aries is at. Where Mars is at too, because for you, Aries, specifically, that's going to help you out quite a bit. All right, so I don't have anything in Aries, though I do have Chiron, so I understand the issues that people face. I understand what it is that people feel in some type of way because of my empathy. However, that's the key to unlocking the door, which opens the abundance to you. Now, a lot of people don't like to look at the ugly things in their life. They don't like to look at the things that are not working. But how are you supposed to have a life that is working if you don't look at the things that are making it, or that are preventing it from working? Right? Does that make sense? So, Mars right now is in Gemini. Gemini being your third house. So there should be a lot of passion around communication. Communication will actually lead you to the things that you need to think about in order to make your decisions that lead you to happiness. All right, so let's start off with Indy, because this is a choice. There's a choice around here somewhere. And this choice is much connected to your feelings. Let's just put it that way. Okay, 63 Indy. So indecision, wishy-washy commitment. What is that? Hold on, guys. Once, I don't know what is going on right now. I don't know what that was, but oh well, I'll go ahead and check it out afterwards. Alright, so back to the book. So when we deal with Indy, we're dealing with indecision, wishy-washy commitment, and decision making, obviously. So I've described Indy before. Indy is one of those poor fairies that can't really make a choice. Now, there's an Indy that sits on all of our shoulders. Whether that's the same Indy, well, that could be debated. However, the questions that we ask ourselves when we talk about Indy is, what if this? What if that? What if, it's just a bunch of what ifs. Now, if you have anybody who who is always like, what if this, or what if that, what if this, what if that, they might not keep their commitments to various different things that need some type of commitment. And when it comes to Indy, you're being called to make some type of commitment towards something. Now, so we find out it's not just a decision, right? But it's also a commitment behind that decision. So this seems to be talking about something long-term. Now, at the very most basic level, let's just say surface level, I want to say that there's something in this. It's a decision that's making you unhappy. Some of it might be based um, off of money, because as you can see, le duele el codo, or in other words, it hurts the elbow. Also, if you take a look at the fingers, those fingers are lit up too. When we think about fingers, we think about what we're grabbing or what we're giving to somebody, right? So this could be also based on giving and receiving too. We'll go ahead and see once we actually take a look at the rest of the cards, because there's a situation here where there's a blessing in disguise, and somebody has to understand that. But that blessing in disguise is coming off of a choice of some kind. So there are reasons why we hesitate when decision and action are appropriate. However, most of them boil down to fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of harming others, fear of losing something valuable to us, fear of harming ourselves, fear of responsibility, fear that we are simply not able to make a proper decision. Fear, right? So it's decision time now, Aries. Time to make up your mind, make a decision, and then stick to your commitments. Set yourself a definite time period to complete your decision, right down to the day and the hour. Give yourself time to put the decision into practice before it's too late. Once that arbitrary but carefully judged decision time is set, ask for your guidance for your highest good and for the good of all, right? And then weigh, consider, ponder, and gather information. If we do this, and then of course, if you do that and you trust your intuitive faculties, your whatever it is, gut feeling, intuition, knowing, right? Automatic knowing. Use that as you're gathering your information, and it will show you prerequisites. It will show you a list of the various different things that you will encounter on your journey, and that's how you know that you're on the right track. So then weigh, consider, ponder, and gather. Oh, okay, I already read that. If we do this, and if we have asked for aid, the answer seems somehow to fall magically into place at the appointed time, right? The right place at the right time. You don't know what the right place and the right time can be until you follow your intuitive faculties. Then it's just a matter of trusting that trusting that answer and carrying it through. We can ask for help with that as well if we wish. It is willingly given. So as you can see, the universe will willingly give you the answers that you are requesting, but you just have to make a decision on something, right? Now, that shouldn't be difficult for you, Aries, but I feel that some of you Aries, especially with Mars retrograde, there's a lot of soul searching. There's a lot of creativity digging, because I feel like some of you guys are going to come up with something soon enough. And whatever this is going to lead you to a sense of knowledge. It's going to impart some type of wisdom upon you, Aries. And as this wisdom gets imparted on you, that's what actually helps to bring about the healing, is this, whatever it is that you find out that allows you to move forward on that decision, right? All right, so 37, we are talking about Tobiira of the Waters in the reverse. Now, Tobiira of the Waters is one of those cards that is not just about healing, but it's really, really connected to the emotional space. Of course, it did fall into the emotional space category. So it's about trying to build up your peace, trying to build up your serenity, trying to build up the things that really nurture you. And Tobiira of the Waters is saying that healing is not the healing that you're looking for is not out of reach, because when it shows up in your reading, it means it's right there. You just have to kind of turn your head to see where it's at, right? The thing that I'm thinking of right now is kind of Four of Cups energy. Like, you're just looking at the 3 cups that are spilled. You're looking at the 3 cups that are right there. You're not really looking at the cup that's behind you that the universe is trying to present to you. But the universe is trying to get you to gracefully accept change. So for the moment, close your eyes and just let yourself feel the cool, sparkling fairy waters flowing through your fingers. Imagine drinking this sparkling coolness from your own cupped hands. And imagine the water flowing down your throat, You may even be able to feel the magical energy filled coolness flow right through to your toes. Feel better? Throughout the world, there are healing wells both for general health and specific ailments. In modern times, many of their fairy qualities have been diluted, even though Tobaira and her healing helpers do all they can to keep them clear and potent. Fairy waters reflect the emotional state of the human people around them. So the fairy waters that come through to our world have lessened in purity and power in places where people are living especially stressful, civilized lives. As one Oracle group member observes, there are profound connections with drinking water, tears, wells of forgiveness, water as the fluid of transformation, nutrients in the body, the connecting flow. I could flow on and on, but I'll stop. However, the many healing fairies who help Tobaira to do the best they can under the circumstances to purify the waters, and they try to maintain their own merry spirits to give added power to the waters. We can help the fairies by creating more merriment in the lives of others and in our own lives. So in addition to the healing wells, there are wells and springs that bestow wisdom or skill upon the drinker, like the famous Hippocratean fountain on Mount Helicon, which bestows poetic inspiration. I suspect it of being a fairy mountain because of the way it works. If you have one drink, you gain a certain level of poetic ability. Another draught brings you more, and the third brings you to the full power of poetry. So, there's certain wells of poetic ability, not just poetic ability, but also of healing, right? There's specific ailments that can only be healed by certain things, and then there's more generalized ailments that have more things that can be done in order to remedy whatever the cause is, right? What Source is letting you know is that there's specific pockets of healing water, which is found in information, right? Aligning your frequency, finding out and understanding what your energy is, and basically understanding that through finding out what your vibration is and raising it. So water is mutable, right? Changeable and fluid. But in the reverse, it can indicate that emotional needs have not been met, or thirst of the spirit or the emotions is there. Or on the other hand, it can remind us that fairy spells on waters can be mischievous, causing confusion, muddled memory, and irritability in humans. Perhaps a cold shower is in order here. Certainly it is a time for cooling off, calming down, and quieting the waters of our emotions before we take action. Now, it isn't really hard to see what the blessing in disguise is here. The blessing in disguise here, very simply, is that if you make the change, the healing will come. And I feel like you realize this, Aries. This isn't anything that you don't already know. I'm actually surprised that what was her name? Gothica or whatever her name is? Oh, Gotcha didn't come out, because Gotcha is about or at least I should say in the reverse, because Gotcha, when you read about it, it's in the reverse. It's like you already know what you know, and you already know the information that's coming through. And of course your intuition, and for some of you who haven't developed your intuition, your gut feeling has been telling you, your hunches have been letting you know, hey, boom, 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 you need to make a decision, you need to make this decision, you need to make this decision. You're like, let's hold on. Oh, what's this? Okay, so now let's go to Mickle and Muckle, because actually we learned a lot just right there. Now we're gonna find out what this blessing in disguise is, because everyday blessings can play a role in your life, but you don't necessarily understand when that blessing is gonna come in. Most of the time, you don't even know where that blessing is coming from. We expect it from a specific source, yes, but a lot of the times it's not gonna come from that specific source. Now, there could be mixed blessings. Sometimes you have to be fine with whatever the silver lining is, right? So as with Indy, you gotta be accepting of the change that's going on. And well, when it comes to Indy and Tobaira, the waters together, you gotta pay attention to the changes that are going on and flow with them. So Mickle is a Grig of good family, and as you have doubtlessly heard, Grigs are merry, so merry that they have become proverbial. Sorry about that. Proverbial for it. They want you to be merry too, with a childlike open heart. Mickle informs us, little things come in good packages. There you go. Little things come in good packages, and he is a little thing, and therefore is good and well packaged in his skin. This is fairy logic, and I'm not responsible for it. Mickle can be foolish, silly, playful, and absurd. He is fond of goofing off and considers play to be an art form, and himself a fine artist. So let me go ahead and hold up this card. I feel like I need to hold this up for you guys. Okay, he understands renewing the spirit and recreating the body and emotions. He knows that all of us have a child within who needs to play and be cherished. And he also knows we need to make mistakes so we can learn from them. Which is how he got the title of a mixed blessing. When we stop pretending to be adults for a moment, stop trying to live up to some possible and probably boring standard, we can regain the clear, direct vision of a child. We can, like Mickle, see things and they really are as they really are, and we can focus on the present moment, which is our only place of power. Here and now is where we can do things, change things, and enjoy real things instead of mere ideas and dreams. Ooh. Aye. That is sheesh. That's a mind blow right there. Okay. Mickle reminds us that in the past, it's the past, gone forever. The future is just a dream. And now is the only time we have, moment by moment. Mickle is a great adventurer and explorer of life, and he leads us to magical places if we let him. So, as this has come in the reverse, this card can signify that a behavior that is too opportunistic, self-centered, inconsiderate, selfish, and childish, immature too. It can speak of clinging to unrealistic notions about security, clinging to the known path, rejecting adventure. Don't, Mickle says, let yourself do that, please. Now, when you hold yourself back from going on a new adventure, what ends up happening is that you stay in the known and you stay stuck to what you already know and what you already see. Now, the whole thing here is to make the decision to do something new. So, all of these cards coming out the way that they have, it's just an indication that this thing that made you unhappy made you realize that, hey, there's a blessing in disguise here. I should take it. And then, of course, some of you Aries are reaching that point. Some of you are fighting against this decision. So, I would say, move on with it. Go forward. You know, as an Aries, you know, adventure isn't something new to you guys. Because when you think about going on an adventure, it energizes you guys. It makes you excited. So this inner transformation and irrevocable change is actually being caused by your higher self. Now, your higher self may be showing up to you in dreams. And when it comes to Nellie the Alchemist, it's inner transformation. So this inner transformation is going to be the catalyst for the outer transformation that's going on. But sometimes we have to study ourselves and we have to study our soul. Now, Nellie points out the path that we can follow, but Nellies will not guide you down that path. That's your decision and that's your choice. So when Nellie turns up in your reading, get ready for things to happen inwardly and outwardly. The stuck becomes unstuck. The block begins to move. You may have to run to keep up with the speed that at which the situation around you is moving. You may also be surprised by the direction that things and you are taking, but that should be a surprise to you, Aries. I think that you being the most adaptable sign in terms of, you know, fire to earth, there's something here that you already know, and you already know that things are going to be moving fast for you, but you got to understand that you got to keep up with it. All right. That's where your intuition, that's where your gut feeling plays a very, very big part, and that's why you have to understand it. All right, so um, you may also be surprised. You may find your plans, even desires and dreams, changing as the transformative process takes place. It might not have been in your plans, but later on you will look back and say, "Wow, it wasn't what I expected, but it was just what I needed." When we have been through such an alchemical process, we can never go back to what we were before, which is probably just as well. Yeah, no. You shouldn't go back to what you were before. You should always be striving to be better. All right, let's go ahead and draw some Rider Tarot. Wait. Oh, we're already at 30 minutes. All right, so what else does Source have for us? Because so far, Aries, this reading, sheesh, highly informative. Highly informative. A blessing in disguise that the universe and your higher self are leading you down that will lead to a decision that ends up in healing. Okay, so there's a journey. There's definitely a journey going on. Definitely a journey going on for Aries. And this decision, this journey is based on a decision for Aries. Yeah. All right, one more shuffle. And then some more cutting. All right, let's see. A lot of you guys will be releasing a lot of emotional baggage. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are going to be going on around you. This Tower movement, whatever it is, it's more informative rather than like your whole world is falling apart type of thing. I very much feel that this decision, though, is based on things that are not working for you, and the change that is imminent, right? It's prominent. The reason why this change is happening is because you're not finding the healing, right? There was one thing that I found from Jordan Peterson in a video recently. I'll go ahead and post it on the description after, where he was talking about how if you come to somebody with the idea that you're presenting something in the form that you think you're right and that they should listen, well, if they agree with you, well, what is that saying? You're not being challenged. Now, you might walk away from that situation understanding that, hey, yes, I won, but you're not learning anything new. So the whole idea that this Tower moment and this decision and understanding that it's a blessing in disguise is trying to show you is that when you look at this greater scheme of things and the greater scope of things, you start to understand that you're either going to be moving into this new situation with fear, which is only going to keep certain cycles going, or you're going to have to just go with the flow, allow Source to refill your cup. Now, this is in the stage of, or this is in the side of the emotional healing. So as the Tower moment happens, and as you release certain things from your emotions, what ends up happening is you start to refill your cup. The universe starts to refill not just your cup, but also your spirit, your soul. It starts to change things. Now, I feel that not just a new sense of emotion or a sense of feeling, or maybe even strength in healing, right? A new beginning in your emotions and your emotional aspects, and understanding that. I also feel that you're gonna there's some type of business that's gonna happen for you, Aries. Not exactly sure what kind of business is this. This might be on the emotional aspect, but let's see what this third card is, because whatever it is, it's obviously going to be a blessing in disguise. And so it's a message. Okay. I figured it would be. The eights in themselves are there to help you with growth and abundance. All right, so, 9, right? So all of this reading has been dealing a lot with personal happiness. personal fulfillment, and understanding what it is that you are good at. See, when we think about how we make ourselves happy, we don't really think about the idea that we have to change ourselves on the inside and let certain things fall down, let other things be built in their place in order for us to really understand what we want on the inside. Now, because we had these cards come out, this is letting me know that there's a certain communication that's going to be coming in. There's a certain type of message that you're going to be hearing. Now, remember, these messages can come through anyway. It can come through angel numbers. It can come through things that you hear other people say. It could be, thinking a thought and looking at a billboard, or finding, some type of sign somewhere that like lets you know, just one word, and that one word is like, hey, like yes, or go to school, or like you should get this job. There's certain things that are going to be popping up in your reality that are going to be markers for you to go off of. And these are markers that you need to check against your intuition or your hunches to be able to understand that, yes, this is a change that's necessary. So when we look at the 8 of Wands, it's also about taking action on the information that you receive. And especially if it's if it's something that's bad, it might actually help you out more in the long run than you think. Now, looking at the chart, you have a lot of things that are triggering you, a lot of things that are triggering you as a face-to-face thing, or maybe even in communication. Now, a lot of you guys are focusing more on yourselves, which is technically natural when Mars is in retrograde. But there's just a simple idea as well that with Uranus and the North Node in Taurus, both of them going reversed, you're trying to find out what your path is, but you're also trying to find your own uniqueness and what makes you special. And that's going to help you move, in the direction that you're trying to head in. The fact that you have the moon in your 8th house, you should really be trusting your intuition. You should be trusting your the information that source is sending you through dreams and through all of the different signs that are going to be appearing in your reality. Truth is, it's going to be time for you to express what it is that you really want to do, what you really feel inside your soul. And you can't really express what you feel inside your soul unless you know. So this time period right now, it's very much a time period for you to really take a look at your dreams, your aspirations. Take a look at what you have as far as your skills and your abilities, because these are the things that are really going to play a part in terms of understanding what it is that you really love, but how best to communicate that. You have Pluto in your 10th house, so there's a lot of different things that are going on that are being a lot of different things, not just in your career space, but how you think about your career space, that are being removed, and you're being shown the core of what's really there. I feel that for you, in terms of business and all of that, you're being shown the core of what's really there. And so that's going to be very beneficial to you. What you have to do is keep a very structured, keep maintenance of your relationships, of your connections. Write down the most important ones and then down to the least important ones. That'll help you to prioritize them. And at the same time, be aware that whatever dreams you feel aren't possible, right? Whatever dreams feel like illusions, take a look at them to understand whether they really are illusions. And then from there, move forward on the ones that you know can actually be made into something, because that's the one that's really going to blow it up for you. So that's what we have in your astrology. Ooh, you know what? Let me turn on the car because I just got hot. All right, so we did the astrology. We did all of the cards. minus the animal spirits. So we're gonna go ahead and go with the animal spirits here, find out what's going on for you in terms of the energy that you need to be encompassing, and we will find out through the numbers, the astrological signs, and through the planets what specifically you should be focusing on here at the end of the year, and how you should be moving forward. Ooh. So there's something about building up your spine, or building up your strength, building up what makes you strong. That could be knowledge, that could be your artistic ability, that could be your ability to speak, your persuasiveness. Doesn't really matter. It's something. Whatever it is, it's a cosmic egg of sorts. It's something that maybe you haven't had, or you've had a lot of trouble letting go of. Whatever this thing is, it's an egg type of thing, so it's going to take time for it to develop. It's going to take time for it to hatch. But realize that whatever it is, it's cosmic energy, and you are going to benefit highly from it because it's divine energy. Now, I also want to go ahead and draw another card, because I find that when I draw two cards, it's very, very informative. You know what? I do believe that the cosmic egg is connected to the crown chakra, but I don't know. We'll go ahead and see from the book. All right, so don't let yourself get distracted by the superficial things, by the things that seem pretty, by the things that glitter, that gleam. Don't be distracted by the various different things that you know not to be positive for your flow, for your direction, for whatever it is that your vision is. The idea of the moth coming out, there's a lot of times when changes are happening that we tend to get distracted, mostly because we don't want to pay attention to the changes, but mostly because we don't want to have anything to do with those changes. Well, we don't want anything to do with whatever it shows us that needs to be changed. Now, some of you guys might be in the space of not being able to have a higher perspective on things. Some of you might have the trouble of knowing how to hit the mark. And some of you guys might have that trouble of, gaining a connection with source again. That white energy, the source energy that I was reading earlier, that came through pretty strong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and read the book now. I'm gonna take all of these 3 cards into consideration, and we'll see what source has as your message. So let's see. Cosmic egg. Okay. So the cosmic egg is connected to the 7th chakra and is connected to the crown chakra. So it has to do with completion, harmony, and the infinite within the finite. So anything that completes itself automatically is going to start something new. Whether that new is something that ramps up very quickly or takes time to coalesce, well, that's all going to be up to you. Source, understand, well, that's up to you and source. So the cosmic egg is a final card in the journey of the animal spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path, right? The path. For some time, and through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veil of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. That's exactly what's happening here. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we would never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer, within us, and when this essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. Not your beginning, but the beginning of this universe. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. So the cosmic egg and the 7th chakra. The subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra at the top of the head, called Sahasrara. 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 Okay. One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine upward towards the Sahasrara. Each of the 6 lower chakras play an important role along this journey, and once the final epicenter of consciousness is activated, it is said to radiate the light of a million suns. So, the light of a million suns, right? We're talking about going towards that light, or rather, being the light, I would say, is heading more towards the energy of source rather than the energy of anything else. Now, this right here is normally an air card, but upside down like this, it becomes earth. So grounding yourself, understanding that these changes that are going on are going to be for a very, very beneficial process, but you have to take action on the on the information that you receive, understanding that it's going to be a blessing in disguise. That is interesting to say the least. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. We'll start off with the astrological signs, and then we'll go ahead and see how it plays a role into this reading. Okay? Cancer, self-care. The right way to go about it is by looking for the truth. Looking for your own inner truth, right? Because that's what Nelly's is saying. It's an inner transformation. After that, what you're left with is a very detailed and very organized list of the things that you need to do in order to provide yourself self-care. But it's not just that, it also gives you wisdom along the way. Now, if we go ahead and toss the... Alright, so, yep, the sun. Between your thoughts and your actions, there's a necessary need to focus on the emotional aspect of understanding what needs to end and what doesn't need to end yet. The things that you need to release emotionally, because a lot of these things tend to ruin whatever it is that you wish to say about your own expression. However, a lot of the times, if we don't know ourselves, we're expressing something that really isn't us. And sometimes, we get those intuitive messages from the universe, but sometimes it doesn't register until much, much later. The fact is that as you focus in on these things that seem to be illusions, the truth will actually emerge through that. And then that's what actually helps your true expression. Now, what ends up happening is, as you start to understand where your intuition is leading you, you start to understand what is and what isn't an illusion, and you start to really reflect on these things. Maybe not too long, because Aries don't really take too long reflecting, but I feel like during this time specifically, you're going to be doing a lot more reflecting than normal. Now, this is going to lead you to big things, because what ends up happening is, as you do this, things will complete themselves. The energy of 10 will make itself known to you. Then, as you start to do that, you start to approach things with more of a Saturnian energy, more of the organized fashion, more of the things that are more of a Capricorn type of energy, rather than the energy of that Aryan nature you have. However, this is all trying to lead you away from your South Node tendencies. These are tendencies that we built from from like a childhood age, or they're things from a past life. So what is trying to alert you to is these things. It is these things that are the boundary between how you really feel and what you're actually going to do. So that is all I have for you, Aries. I feel like a lot of you Aries got this information that you needed. Be sure to pay attention to those signs. 8 is a very, very important number, and paying attention to your emotions, paying attention to your intuition is a very, very big part of this. So with that, I'll go ahead and leave you, Aries. If you feel like this reading was very beneficial and helped you to learn a lot, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so that you can understand how best to move forward on this journey. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that bell and the notification, because you'll be notified about these videos. Yeah, it's about making forward movement. It's about making decisions. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Aries. And if you need if you need a more personalized reading, something with more specific data in terms of astrology, like more specific to your chart, go ahead and check the description below. It'll be in there as soon as I end this video. For that, you guys, well, I'll go ahead and explain it to you when you guys message me. That appears to be it. And I think, yeah, I think that you guys are going to be ready to move forward with this information, analyze it, and do all the good things that you need to do. All right, with that, I'll go ahead and leave you here, Aries. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. And for that, I thank you very much. So, from Tarot and Astrology for all to all of you guys, love, light, happiness. Stay free, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you. And have a good day, afternoon, good evening, and a good night.